Hello, Samantha. Hello, Internet, and welcome back to my room in Chicago for one last time. Um, I am, as the title suggests, moving on out very soon. Friday will be my last day here, so I've just got a couple more days left. I just took my last final today. I do have a project to turn in on Friday, and I still have to finish bits of that, but for the most part, I'm doing okay, which is good. Um, but yeah, so I decided to shoot one last vlog before I had to remove my lovely poster backdrop in preparation for the move, and also get on the task of cleaning everything, which I did the bathroom yesterday. It looks much better, which is nice, but there's still a long way to go, so that'll be my next several days. And I just thought I'd talk a little bit about sort of just a retrospective of, being in Chicago and being in art school, which is a first for me. I went to U of M Dearborn for a while, which is just a very regular sort of commuter university college sort of thing. And now I'm at a very different kind of place, which has definitely been an experience. I think one of the challenges here at Columbia is the fact that since it's so integrated into the city and doesn't really have what you would necessarily call like a super cohesive campus. Like there are a group of buildings, but there's also a lot of other things going on around and inside that sort of campus area. So you kind of, in effect, get sort of a bit of a disconnect from the school unless you really make an effort to connect with it. And I think coming into the second semester of it, there was a little bit of a problem in terms of just trying to sort of integrate myself into the campus life. Because a lot of people had, sort of already formed their units, and a lot of like the groups were done recruiting, because you would recruit really heavily during the fall semester, but during the spring semester you kind of have your group. You might not be doing as much outreach, so I didn't really have a chance to do a lot of the stuff that people coming into the fall would do. I think next semester I'm here back in the fall will be easier for that, because there'll be a lot more sort of active outreach going on with those groups, and people will be more open to sort of new people. I did meet some people in my classes, and I went to a yoga class for like twice a week for the semester, which is really good. Highly recommend yoga to anybody who hasn't tried it. It's really good exercise, and it makes you feel good and relaxed. But yeah, so I knew some people, but overall I'd say that coming in the spring, like halfway through the year, is not the ideal way to do things. But in my situation, it was sort of the way things needed to happen. So it's fine. I definitely wouldn't mind coming in when it's a little bit warmer, though, because it was like 0 degrees for my first like 2 months here, which was gross. But now it's finally starting to get nice. I have to leave, which is sad. But I'll be back in the fall when it isn't so, like unbearably hot, which it can be sometimes here in the summer. I'll be able to deal with that in the house, which has, the ability to open windows. I haven't been able to open the windows in this apartment. The windows are sealed, which is really irritating. So basically I have a choice between like full blast AC, making this place an icebox, or sort of just stifling, which is really unfortunate. At least I don't have to pay for the air conditioning. It's included. I say don't have to pay. I have to pay. I just, don't pay any more depending on how much I use it. So the more I use it, the more free it is. That's how it works, right? I think so. Just crank that thing up. But anyway, so this is my last recording here in this room. And I have to say, I won't miss it that much. As I said, the AC is wonky. It was pretty dirty. My roommates were not super great about that. My actual roommate, the person I shared a room with, was fine. For the most part, he pretty much kept to himself and was clean and not loud and obnoxious, and we got along fairly well. My other 2 roommates, pretty loud, messy. They weren't bad though. They weren't hostile. Not my ideal people. We didn't share many interests either. They're pretty much always watching sports, which I can't really talk about much. But it was fine. I think definitely an improvement. Since this is the first time I've been on my own living, definitely a good experience, I think. next semester I'm going to have a job, though, because not having any income, it's really shitty. It's very difficult to budget yourself when you don't have like a steady stream. You just have like one chunk of money that you have to deal with, and that's kind of weird. I'm also not used to like actually buying food, so I didn't really have a good grasp on exactly how much it costs. Like, I've bought food in the past, but it's not been like a regular thing where I've bought like all the groceries for the house. It's been like, hey, we need this, so I went out and got that. But now I'm getting like all my own groceries, and it's been, a very different experience. I'm sure anybody who's ever had that transition from, being like in their parents' home where they have kind of the basics always stocked, and you just kind of assume that it's there, like, oh, bread, we always have that. I mean, obviously, you don't always have bread. Sometimes you need to go get it, but that's like a special occasion. Usually you go, open the cupboard, and there's bread. Or you open the refrigerator, there's milk or, eggs or whatever. So I've had to get used to actually, like, making lists and going out and grocery shopping, which without a car is somewhat more of a hassle, because I can't really get too much at any one time. Otherwise, I'm carrying, like, a shit ton of stuff. And I could get one of those little cart things that a lot of people have, but I feel like kind of a dork, so I'll just carry it. But then whenever I get like a gallon of milk, I'm like, this and like 2 other things are all I'm getting, because I don't feel like hauling that like the 1.5 miles that it is back from Trader Joe's down the street. I don't think it's actually 1.5 miles, but when you're carrying a gallon of milk, it does start to feel a little bit more. And like 4 pounds of pasta, which at the beginning you're like, this will be fine, and then like halfway through you're just like, this is just irritating. Like, it's not like debilitatingly heavy, but you know what I'm saying. When you carry like not that much for a long period of time, it gets kind of gross. And it's just unpleasant time. So, I mean, I can't say I miss having a car that much, but for those things where I'm carrying stuff, it's definitely nice. Just transporting myself around, though, I've definitely enjoyed having access to public transit. It's so much better than having to drive. I mean, granted, you don't have as much freedom, and it doesn't adhere to your schedule, and in fact, they close the platforms that's closest to me, the Harrison stop, on the Red Line. They closed that down on the weekends for like the last month because they're doing station maintenance, and then the entrance closest to me has just been closed since like April. Well, like early April, so like a month. And that's been irritating, so I've had to walk like down a block to get to it, which when it's raining is kind of gross. So I mean, there's good and bad things, obviously. The good thing is it's way cheaper. Like, I think the transit pass for the whole semester was like $100, and considering how much I would have spent in gas in this time, easily like a fifth of the cost of what I spent on gas. Because, well, for one thing, the car I have back at home, my Trailblazer, is obviously not the most efficient beast. It gets like 20 miles to the gallon at best. Like, on a good day, on ideal conditions on a highway, it'll get 20 miles to the gallon, and that's unusual. And so obviously I go through gas really fast. And the last time I saw a gas price sign, it was like $4.50 or something. I think it's more expensive here in the city than it is back home, but I'm really not looking forward to paying for that again. I'm going to have a job, so I'll have money, but almost all of that will just go towards like gas to like get to the job. And I don't really want that to happen. I mean, living in the city is expensive, but at least I don't have to just pay just to move myself, because I can walk most places fairly easily. And not most places, but you know what I'm saying. Like, now that the weather is nice, I can pretty easily walk to get my groceries and walk everywhere in the immediate downtown vicinity, which is nice. And doesn't take that long either, because everything's close. But in the suburbs, if you're walking anywhere, it's going to take like an hour to get anywhere of use. I mean, biking is somewhat better, but you can't really carry much when you're biking. Not that you can carry a tremendous amount when you're walking either, but, you know, it's just kind of a pain that you have to store your bike somewhere. Oh. Also, I've not been sleeping well, because, I don't know, it's mostly been pretty dumb stuff. I haven't really actually had that much work to, like, do, like, in comparison to what I've been doing the rest of the semester, but this week especially, I've just stayed up way too late and gotten up way too early. Like, this morning, I woke up at, like, 6:30. I don't know why. I didn't have to be up for my class until like 8:30, but I got up and then I was like, I'm really tired, but I'm going to stay up anyways. And that was a mistake. And now it's sleepy time, except for I have yoga in an hour, so I'm not actually sleeping. I might do some power napping. But anyways, this video's gone on a really long time. I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts on the semester out of the way so that when the summer comes around, which is very soon, we'll be back in Novi on Saturday, and I'll probably make a video then and just reacclimate myself and move my life again. Be back there for like 3 months and going back to Chicago. I'm not entirely sure where I'll live in Chicago next year, but I will be somewhere, and you'll definitely see it here. So thanks for watching, everybody. Samantha, I'll see you whenever you post your video next. Bye.